Okay, so you gotta pick someone that killed Sakura. It's not Makoto because we're the main characters. So unless somehow there's an unreliable narrator kind of thing going on, it's not him. It's not Kyoko. Unlikely. It's not Asahina, despite how much she wanted to be here. It's not Hakure, it's not Koko, it's not Byakuya. Even though Byakuya is like very surprised about everything, it's more so that I guess he thought he solved everything, but as it turns out, he's being humbled by someone smarter than him. So really, as mentioned before by Kyoko, the only person that could have went inside the room and used the poison was simply the victim herself, because there's no other way. There's no other way for her to have been killed by anyone else but by herself, really. So I guess we have to pick her. It's kind of weird, because she's dead, but it's her. Don't trust anyone, not even yourself.
自身が犯人だとつまり自殺ってことか
自殺
信じらんないアイキャンフライする以上に信じらんない
確かに信じられないいや信じたくないけどでもそう考えると全ての辻褄が合うんだよ大神さん自身が毒薬を取りに行きそしてその瓶から毒薬を口にしたのは自らの命を絶つためだったからそして解けない密室の謎あれは解けなくて当たり前だったんだよ
Because of course Monokuma forced her into the locked room. Yakuo created a locked room secret. That's what he did in chapter 2 sort of, he just messed with the crime scene. But no, Sakura wanted to create a locked room. That makes the most sense.
あの密室は部屋の中にいた大神さん自身によって作られたものだったんだ
きっと彼女は邪魔が入るのを防ぐためにあの密室を作ったんだ大神さんはその密室に持ち込んだ毒薬を飲みそこで息絶えたそしてその毒薬の瓶は密室が破られるまでは娯楽室に転がっていたけど密室が破られた後ある人物によって娯楽室から持ち出されてしまう朝日奈さんあなたに全ては捜査のかく乱のためそうなんでしょ大神さんの死体を見つけた時あなたはドアの入り口付近に立ち尽くしたままだったその理由はあなたはすでに大神さんの死を知っていたからその入り口付近に毒薬の瓶が転がっていたから
朝比奈さんが毒薬の瓶を拾ったのはあの時だったんだよね死体を発見して驚いている僕と死体の反応を確かめていたキリギリさんの目を盗んだよ
それに今思えばその後の朝比奈さんの行動も何かおかしかったよ
We have to go get them. Go get the others. She left early, yeah.
あなたはみんなを呼びに行くと言っていたけど
She was like, obviously planting the protein drink or whatever, or at least going to at that point.
本当は容器の入れ替えを行うために科学室に行くのが目的だったんじゃないのそして科学室に行ったあなたはすぐにプロテインが保管されている A の棚に向かったそこで娯楽室から持ち出した空の毒薬の瓶にプロテインの中身を移し替えると空のプロテインの容器だけを持って科学室を後にしたそう考えれば
Okay, that does explain it, by the way. I was thinking, like, well, how did she swap the poison, protein drink, and somehow use, like, a third cup or whatever? But it doesn't matter too much. She could have found a cup anywhere, I guess, but, it does make more sense now, because she did only have a empty poison bottle, right? And she simply just poured the protein into it and switched it.
その後急いでみんなを集め、そして娯楽室に戻ってきた朝比奈さんは
Got everyone. It's like, oh, he's bad. Okay.
みんなの視線が大神さんの死体に向けられている隙にプロテインの容器をこっそり現場に落としたんだよ。あの時気づくべきだった。本来の朝比奈さんなら誰よりも真っ先に大神さんの死体に駆け寄るはず。本来の朝比奈さんならあの状況で大神さんの死体から離れるわけがないんだ。
大神さんは自殺だった。朝比奈さんはその事実を隠すために一連の偽装工作を行っていたのよ。死の真相が隠せるなら自分が疑われても構わない。だからこそあれらの証拠をあえて現場に残したままにしたんでしょう。粉末に残った足跡や入れ替えた後の毒薬の瓶、それらの重要な証拠をね。
朝比奈は自分が犯人と見せかけるために偽装工作をしていたというのか。
What's this us you're talking about? More like you? She deceived you. No.
終わらせなきゃダメだ。もう終わらせなきゃダメなんだよ。
Alright, we have to end this properly by remaking, the whole series of events with a comic. Yeah! Alright, let's say. So, what happened to Sakura? She gave a note to everybody under the not table, I want to say table. Under their door. Gave one to Hagakure, one to Toko, and one to... Oh, not that. Oops. How do I... Yeah. One to... Where is he? Yeah, this guy. He's like, yes. Amusing. Anyway. And then Toko went early. And then she hid inside the locker. Right? I mean, this thing, right? With this thing. Sure... Yeah, I think... Well, I don't know, actually. Is this one or is it this one? I'm not sure. I think it's that one. Yeah, I'm not sure. Which one is it? This one or this one? I guess... Well, maybe there's another picture later. Anyway, we'll see. Alright, but she hid in there. It's like, oh, where is Sakura? And then Hagakure came right after. And it's like, hey, what's up? Surprisingly, his hair looks a bit better in this style. I don't like the hair... Like, there's too much texture, in the original art. It looks a little bit better here, where it's like, it looks very fluffy. Anyway, and then Sakura's like, oh, what's up? It's like, here, you want to calm down? Here's some candy. It's like, oh, okay, thanks. And then she muttered like, oh, it's going to end now. I'm going to end everything. Probably she meant like killing herself, but I guess Hagakure mistaken that for her killing him. It's kind of horrible, actually, to be honest. In the context of this, like, this guy's just horrible. I don't know. I guess he's not pure evil or anything, but he's just so incompetent. He's he attacked her. Just because she just mentioned something off under her breath. It's like, it's horrible. All right, what was in the Monokuma bottle that Hiro hit Sakura with? Okay, so he probably used the one... This one? Yeah, the knight, yeah. This one. I was like, I'm gonna kill her before she kills me! It's like, oh no, I killed her. Surprise. Well, he didn't actually kill her, but you know. Still did pretty big damage, and was bleeding and everything. Let's see. What did he do to try to cover up the murder he thought he committed? He put a dying message. You know, that's horrible too. He just literally tried to like frame Toko too. This guy just sucks. Can we just kill him just because? He reminds. Again, he's not pure evil, but he reminds me of Shinji from Fate Stay Night. You know, it's like incompetent, a coward. I don't know. As soon as he thinks he can like get away with something, he just like lies immediately. Like he just sucks at it. I don't know. Anyway, like there's no redeeming qualities. Anyway, so Toko was in the locker. Okay, well actually maybe over here, or I don't know. It's hard to tell. Like, is this like leaving or entering? It's hard to tell. No, I'm gonna put it back. So that, and then she's leaving. Yeah, okay. And she saw it. You saw it happen. And she's like, "Oh, you tried to freaking frame me. All right, I'm gonna hide it then. Put it over here." What did she do? She put it back upside down, which I guess it was. Yeah, it was this thing. It was like the little Piggy Miss Piggy magical girl thing that what's his face like? The otaku guy, fat guy. I don't know. He's dead now, but that's what he liked. I already forgot his name. What's his name again? Wow, I've completely forgot. I remember Ishimaru. I remember Ishimaru. He's the other victim from the last case. I want to say no. I want to say Yagami. That's not right. That's like Death Note. Light Yagami. I don't know. I completely forgot his name. Anyway, whatever. I'm really bad at names anyway. So it's no surprise. But alright, so like she put the bows like, oh no, alright, I did it. And then it's like Sakura came up, it's like, oh, I got hit in the head. Oh, hey, Toko. It's like, ah! And then she like woke up as like her serial killer persona. Like, I'm gonna kill you now, haha, because you scared me, lol. And then, what was in the Monokuma that Genocide Jack hit her with? It was this one. It was the weed. It's like, hey, oops, I killed her, haha. And then she tried to clean up a little bit, and she ran away. Wee! But then, Sakura woke up again and is like, oh, man, I'm having a bad day today. Actually, what actually killed Sakura? It was probably this, or hold on. That was this, yeah. Well, she was holding it, Oh, alright. Time to kill myself, I guess. Look. And like she probably, yeah. Well, she locked the room, I assume. Or not locked. It wasn't really locked because there was no actual lock on the door, but I guess she put the chair or whatever. I was like, oh, well, time to kill myself. Here you go, no, weapon. Oh, and there's, obviously Asina. It's like, We went into the room, we broke the window, we saw, that she's dead or whatever. We also... And then the culprit, well, not really a culprit, but Asahina herself saw the bottle on the floor, and so she picked it up, I assume, right? Oh, is that the right image? That's right. There's something on the floor near Sakura's body which someone grabbed. Let me make sure I got the right one. I guess it's this one. And then everyone's here. What was it that they switched with the bottle of poison left on the erect roof? Well, obviously this thing, right? I think? Is that right? I'm looking at everything else. That's the knight exploding. That's not right. This is just a red herring. Yeah, that's also a red herring. Both of these are already on other panels. Yeah, I think that's it. Also, I just noticed. Yeah, I didn't even notice actually. When you think about it, it all kind of connects because Genocider show, whatever, or Genocide Jill, she was there at the crime scene, and you wonder. I mean, she's always changing back and forth, I guess. So you didn't think much about it, but it does kind of fit actually that she would be in that form when we discovered the body and everything. Anyway, I think that's correct. Let's
犯
see.
人は君なんだ。大神さんがある人物たちを娯楽室に呼び出したところから始まったんだ。呼び出されたのは葉隠君、深尾さん、戸上君の3人。呼び出された3人のうち最初に娯楽室に向かったのは深尾さんだった。深尾さんは一足先に娯楽室に行き、ある場所に身を潜めたんだ。
I know it. It's hard to tell. You know, it reminds me of the gesture actually in the Japanese culture. When you like wave at somebody, you know how like you shoo away somebody normally in in North America and probably other parts of the world, but normally when you shoo away somebody, it's like how you describe it, like you face your palm down and then you like move your fingers from down to up, if that makes sense, to shoo away somebody. But actually in Japanese culture, that's actually to come closer, It's like that, how do you tell when you're like, going one way or the other? It's hard to tell. Anyway, so it's not that. Well, it kind of makes sense because she's, I guess, let's see. It's this one. I mean, I was wondering about this one. This one is her being nervous, so it makes more sense, I guess. I don't know. So this one. This one looks like she's leaving though. Alright. Now this should be the right thing.
娯楽室のロッカー。深尾さんはその中に隠れたんだよ。そして大神さんが娯楽室に入るところをロッカーの中から見てたんだ。次に娯楽室にやってきたのは葉隠君だった。そこで大神さんに殺されると勘違いした葉隠君は取り出してしまい、
What? That's wrong too? Well, I'm losing so much hearts. Wait a minute. I mean, I guess, okay, that's the impact of, okay. I thought it was like, I thought it was like, it flowed like this, like went down. For some reason, I thought it was like here, and then went up, back. I don't know, anyway, whatever. Comics. It goes like this. It goes down and then smashes.
犯人は君なんだ。
Man.
思わず娯楽室にあったモノクマボトルで大神さんを殴りつけてしまったんだ。大神さんを殺してしまったと思い込んだ葉隠君は慌てて偽装工作に取り掛かった。
I mean, it is a crime.
の上にあった雑誌に大神さんのダイイングメッセージとして
This is like attempted murder. It's like both of these two, Toko and, Akakure. This is attempted murder. Can they get like a mini execution? Just a small execution. Just a little bit. Can they just die a little bit, They're still, to be honest, they're kind of jerks though. I like Fukawa. I like Toko Fukawa. Fukawa Toko, but anyway. Oh, to be fair, it was her like serial killer form. I mean, I don't know. How's that work, right? But anyway.
ある人物の名前を書いたんだ。深川さんの名前を書くことで彼女に罪をなすりつけようとしたんだよ。だけど当の深川さんはその様子を見てたんだよ。隠れてたロッカーの中からね。深川さんはすぐにロッカーから飛び出し、捏造された雑誌を棚に隠した。だけど彼女はそこでミスを犯してしまったんだ。そのミスっていうのは、彼女は雑誌を棚に戻す際、上下逆さまの状態で戻してしまったんだよ。その直後、目を覚ました大神さんを目の当たりにした深川さんは 神さんの出血を見たせいで気絶してしまった。それによって彼女はジェノサイダーショウへと人格交代したんだけど、そこで目を覚ました彼女、血まみれの大神さんを見てやっぱり取り乱してしまった。そして葉隠君と同じように手にしたモノクマボトルで大神さんを殴打したんだ。これが大神さんの頭部に2つの傷があった理由なんだよ。大神さんを殺したと思い込んだ彼女はすぐに証拠隠滅に取り掛かった。自分が割ってしまったモノクマボトルの破片とクイーンのモノクマフィギュアを処分することだね。こうして大神さんは同じ凶器で2回も殴打されることになったわけだけど、でもその2回の殴打の後でも彼女はまだ生きていたんだ。じゃあ大神さんの本当の死因は何だったのか。それは大神さん自身が科学室から持ってきた毒薬だったんだ。
This is the contradiction. So Chigayo, this comic, by the way, I just know this comic is wrong because her hands are like full of blood, but like according to the Kyokyo's examination, there was no blood in her hands. That's kind of the whole thing, you know. That was a big point, you know, about the whole dying message thing. So this comic is wrong. Whatever. I guess it's not like so. It's not supposed to be super accurate.
彼女は娯楽室を密室にし、誰も入れない状態にした上で毒薬を飲んだ。鍛えたんだ。そしてその死体を僕らが発見した。死体を発見した僕らはドアの窓ガラスを割ることで密室を破ったんだ。でもその時すでに大神さんが自殺したことを知っていた人物がいたんだよ。その人物は娯楽室に落ちていた毒薬の瓶をこっそり持ち出し、そして僕らが見ていない隙にプロテインの容器を代わりに置いたんだ。そうすることで僕らの疑いを自分自身に向けさせようとしたんだよ。今回の学級裁判も間違った結論に導くためにね。そしてそんな偽装工作を行った人物こそ
So dramatic. You know, they always end with a dramatic CG at the end.
これが今回の事件の真実だよ。大神さんは自ら命を絶ったんだ。朝比奈さんはその事実を隠すために自分が犯人だなんて言ってたんだよね。真実だと。だが苗木、どうしてお前が、どうしてお前ごときがそこにたどり着けたんだ。
Well, you see, Byakuya, I'm the main character, and
俺がたどり着けなかった真実に。それは
I mean, well, actually, we kind of got help from everybody. It's a group effort, Byakuya. Come on.
まだわからないの？人間は計算や損得だけで動くわけじゃない。だからこそ人間は難しい。
Yeah, yes, calculations and cost-benefit diagram. That reminds me of like economics 101. That's what they teach you, you know. It's like, I mean, that's what you said before, right? Like, people are in it for themselves, and you know, they only do things that benefit them, which is kind of a fallacy. It's not necessarily the case, you know. People don't always do things only to benefit themselves, because we're not robots, you know. I guess people do irrational things all the time. Anyway.
あなたはそ それを理解していなかった。だから真実にたどり着けなかった。ね、言ったでしょ。人の感情というものを軽んじていると、いつか足元に救われる。
You gotta work on your emotional intelligence, Byakuya. You know, you gotta understand. You gotta have this thing called empathy. I don't know if you have it, Byakuya. You know, so, I don't know. Anyway, it's pretty sad though. Yeah. B. I got one B. I think it's probably that one time where I got really stuck trying to figure out Hakakure's like statement or whatever. I got really stuck. But really, it was something. I mean, I think I got it right at least maybe the first or second time, but I didn't realize that it bounced off like a pink statement. You know, so I thought I got it wrong, but actually I was right. I just didn't, actually hit the statement. With the bullet. Anyway, there you go. Yeah, Sakura's trial. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I really like the emotions that Asahina brings to the trial and everything. Really desperately trying to well, I guess we'll see. Because so far we haven't heard the reasons, but let's see.
こらこら、これでオチがつきましたみたいなムードになってるけどさ。
This means there's no one to execute though. It's like, who do we execute then? Do we execute Sakura again? Do we just bring her dead corpse? Just like revive her, turn her to a zombie, and then kill her again?
お前だったら忘れてない？まだ投票タイムが終わってないよ。
ああ、そうだったわね。
本当に忘れてたの？
I mean, it's not that important. Once we figure it out, it's kind of like it's formality at this point.
テンション下がるな。でもさ、こういうのってお決まりだからさ、一応やっとかないといけないんだよね。じゃあ、面倒かもしれませんけど、お手元のスイッチを押して投票してください。投票の結果、黒となるのは誰なんでしょうね。その答えは正解なのか不正解なのか。
Not a lot of energy this time.
どうなんでしょうね。
Yeah, you did it. Yeah, that's right. The one who killed Sakura was Sakura herself.
僕の
Okay,
答えって
we're done here.
なんだと？
So that's the whole truth, huh? I see. But there's still one thing I don't understand.
おい。
Hina, why did you try to cover up what happened? If the truth hadn't come to light, you would have died along with the rest of us.
どういうことだ？
And yes, you. Why did you do that?
ひでえぞ。
Yeah, we almost died there.
何？
Cuz. That's exactly what I wanted. What? I mean, the reason Sakura died is cuz all of you pushed her into a corner. You all killed her. So that's why. I couldn't let her be the only one that died. You don't mean. You were gonna take us all with you. We have to atone for her sins. Because everyone, even me, we all killed her. We all have to pay for her crimes. You're serious? That's...
何？
Still don't understand? Then let me explain. Do you realize just how much despair Sakura was carrying with her when she died? Look at this. Such brutality has made me desperate. So instead of just waiting to be killed, I'll do it by my own hand. That's... I found it on the ground, in front of the rec room. It's Sakura's suicide note. Suicide note? Thinking back, I should have seen it coming. It was right after Genocide Jack had attacked me. Sakura got mad and stormed off to the nurse's office. I ran out after her and... Sakura, calm down. You don't have to worry about me, I'm fine. I can't calm down. I don't care if I suffer for this. It's my fault after all. But now you're suffering because of me. You tried to protect me, but because of me, my closest friend got hurt. Sakura, because of me, my friends are all going to kill each other. This is all my responsibility. Sakura thought she was responsible. She thought everything was her fault, which is why she wanted to find some way to get everyone to forgive her. So she asked to meet with them. Those 3 idiots. You asked to meet with those 3? You can't. Don't you see how dangerous that is? One's just stupid. The other one has a weird split, like, mental disorder that turns her into a bloodthirsty serial killer, and it's confirmed as well. That's just a psycho. And the other one is a capitalist. Anyway, don't worry. I just want to talk to them. Talk about what? Listen, don't do it. If they all gang up on you at once, even you... Ina, please, don't think of things like that. They're not my enemy. They're friends. Sakura. She clearly believed. She completely believed in all of us. If you just talked to her, you would have understood. She was a friend to all of us. And yet... You trampled all over her feelings, and then you did the unthinkable. What? No, that was just a misunderstanding. Shut up, Hagakure. Don't stand there and call it a misunderstanding. She believed in you, and you wouldn't even listen to what she had to say. Without asking a single question, you tried to kill her. Do you know how much of a dick move that is? No, do you have any idea how desperate she was? Seeing you act like that? That's what her suicide note means. So instead of just waiting to be killed, I'll do it by my own hand. That's how far you pushed her. Sakura, what happened to you? Hina, you came. Wait right here, I'll help you out. Okay, interesting. Oh yeah, I didn't really talk about it during the trial, but I guess Asahina did see Sakura before she killed herself in the rec room. Right after, Sakura got hit twice in the head. Hina. I'm so glad I got to meet you. What's wrong, Sakura? Why are you talking like that? I have a favor to ask. Favor? I'd like some protein. Could I ask you to? My favorite drink. Yeah, you got it. Just hang on, I'll be right back. She could have included that in her fake, deception testimony thing, that she specifically asked for protein. I don't know. Anyway, we don't really. I don't know. I don't remember talking about that during the trial. Anyway, that was the last conversation I had with her. I went to the chem lab to get the protein she asked for. When I got there, I saw the powder. That's when I realized. I saw that someone had taken something from the poison shelf. Sakura. So I ran back to the rec room as fast as I could. But by the time I got there, it was already too late. Sakura. Let me in, please, open the door. Why did she have to die? She had weaknesses just like any other person. If she got cut, she bled. If someone hurt her, she felt it. That's weakness. That's normal. And yet, you all blamed her. I tried to protect her, and I suffered for it, and that just added to the weight she had to carry. I didn't even realize it. Hina, we killed her. All of us. We pushed her into a corner, and we murdered her. People like us shouldn't be allowed to live. That's why you tried to lead us astray. You did your best to make us arrive at the wrong conclusion during the class trial. Sakura died hating all of us. I wanted her free of her regrets. But even that got found out. In the end, I wasn't able to do anything for her. I never faced her after this. And I'm sorry to interrupt when you're about to deliver the final tearjerker, but it's just taking so long. I'm about to fall asleep over here. I mean, do you really think you have any idea what Sakura was actually thinking when she died? What did you say? Everything you said is nothing but your interpretation, right? Your own opinion what her suicide note meant. Of course I know what she was thinking, because her and me, we get shipped together all the time as a Yuri relation. Wait, what I'm really trying to say is, don't you think the entire foundation is shaky? What if it really was like this? What is that? Isn't it obvious? A suicide note. From Sakura's suicide note. What? But Hina already... Oh, I wrote that one. It was all me, baby. Okay. This is the one Sakura addressed to Hina and put in her room. What? Then... You lied to me? Oh, don't say lie. It makes it sound so dirty. I just thought I'd liven things up a bit. I can't help it if you totally took my little scribbles at face value. It didn't even have Sakura's signature on it. You filthy little... I'm not filthy. I shower every day. No, I didn't do anything. Did I falsify evidence? Did I affect the outcome of the class trial? The case played out between you and you alone. You were the ones jerking each other around. Heck, even if the will had factored in, it still would have been between you guys. So what's the problem? This is all part of the production process. Okay, and scene cut. So then, what's she write in her real suicide note? I'm glad you asked. For your benefit, I shall read it using my melodic, angelic, harmonic narrator voice. But you know, haven't you ever been curious about the whole suicide note thing? Who came up with the idea of leaving a note when you kill yourself in the first place? And isn't it just so unfortunate? Killing yourself is just so final, you know? You can never hear the rest of their story. The truth is lost in darkness. It'll be the willies. Could you get on with it, please? Okay, geez. Talk about a buzzkill. Alright, here we go. Ahem. My good friend Hina. I'm not I don't know, I could read as Monokuma's voice. I think the idea is supposed to read it as Monokuma's voice, but I'm just gonna read it normally. My good friend Hina. There's something I have to tell you. I hate to do it like this, but you need to know. This is my final wish. Okay, well, they're gonna read it in her voice anyway. Also, she's doing calligraphy, by the way. That's very traditional. Traditional Japanese calligraphy. Oh, no, actually, well, this is not voice. It was our first night in this strange school that the mastermind came to see me. You might not see the importance of a dojo, but my family has watched over it for over 300 years.
守らなければならぬ。そう思っていた。
However, that was my greatest weakness. And because of that, I made the mistake of giving in to the mastermind.
そして黒幕が我に命じたのは殺人を犯せという命令だった。
They were probably worried that until the first murder had happened, nothing would move forward. But what neither the mastermind nor I expected was the incident involving Sayaka. At that point, the plan changed. The mastermind told me to hold off, to wait until we reach another stalemate.
だがそこでお主たちと生活を続けていくうちに、朝比奈と生活を続けていくうちに、我の決意は揺らいでいった。
Watching everyone fight with such despair, trying so desperately to stay alive, I saw the weakness in my own heart, the mistake of succumbing to the mastermind. And more than anything,
我を親友と言ってくれる人物を裏切れない。
that's how I came to feel. So that's why Sakura...
我は決めたのだ。もう引かぬ、もうこびぬ、もう顧みぬと。我は決心したのだ。お前と戦うと。
Of course, because of that, I decided to reveal her secret, which made everyone else hate her. Her decision to stay true to all of you led directly to all of you hating her for it. Ironic, isn't it? Or maybe oxymoronic? Or just moronic? I don't know.
だが、皆が我を恨むのも当然だ。すべては我の弱さが招いた結果なのだからな。
I'm perfectly willing to accept whatever attack you may want to make on me. Oh, okay. That's the way, is it? I mean, that's directly related to how, you know, she got hit by those two bottles, I guess.
それがお主たちを裏切ったことへの罪滅ぼし。そう思っていた。
But unfortunately, that's not enough. This won't end with just me accepting your hatred.
事態は我の力だけでは収まらなくなっていた。そしてそれこそが黒幕が我の裏切りを公表した本当の目的だったのだ。
My betrayal brought suspicion, disharmony. The mastermind knew that eventually it would escalate to someone murdering someone else. Also kind of weird. I don't know, again, some of his voice, some of it's not. It's weird. Man. Which is one way or the other.
だが、それも全ては我の責任。
Or, you know, Sakura's like little letter here, but anyway. I have an obligation to get this situation under control. And to fulfill that obligation, I've decided to do as the mastermind has commanded. I will do as I was told, and commit murder.
ただし、我が殺すのは我自身だ。
If the mastermind demands that I kill someone, then that someone will be me. Then my dojo will be safe, and above all else, none of you will have to kill anyone. When I die, the source of conflict among you all dies with me. For that, I'm willing to give up my life.
お主たちにはその価値がある。我の命を懸ける意味がある。お主たちがどう思おうと、我の大事な仲間に他ならないのだからな。
I've never had people like you in my life. And Sakura didn't feel cornered. She didn't die hating us.
そんな
She wanted us to stop fighting, or stop us from fighting to protect us.
そう
She didn't end her own life because she was weak. Quite the opposite, in fact. She was strong. Too strong. That's why she killed herself. She chose death for herself in order to protect the rest of us. To sacrifice so much. No normal person could do that.
でも
It was only her limitless strength that made it possible.
Asahina yo. 最後に謝らせてくれ。
The reason I didn't tell you any of this is because I knew you would try to stop me. I'm really, truly sorry. But please, don't be sad. If I can thwart the mastermind's plans, if I can keep you from killing each other, that's enough for me. This is the path that I have chosen. This is the only way I have left to distinguish myself. And you can use this note to bring the class trial to a quick end. Ironic, because well, obviously we didn't have the note. I'm so sorry to ask you to do something so unpleasant, but I have to leave the rest to you. Please talk to Byakuya, Toko, and Hiro on my behalf. I can't tell anyone about my plan while I'm alive, but I wanted you to understand why I'm doing this. In the end, though, I hope to show myself through actions and not words. Hopefully then they'll see.
我らは憎しみ合う敵同士などではなく、協力すべき仲間同士なのだということをな。朝比奈よ。お主は何としてでも生き延びてくれ。仲間と共に生き延びるんだ。必ず生き延びるんだ。
Mrs. I didn't understand how she felt. Not at all. I thought we were close and still. I only knew about you. I mean, how long has it been? I feel like it's only been a few days. You know, like, maybe less than a week. Maybe it's been a few weeks. I don't know. Again, it's like these anime characters are like, oh, we're best friends, but you know, hasn't been all that long. You know, I don't know. Anyway. And then I mean, you can always make the case, you know, because they're in such a high tense, you know, situation. You know, maybe those friendships, you know, maybe they do blossom a lot quicker in a life or death situation. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know the psychology behind that.
しょうがないな。
But in the end, all her meddling was like totally pointless. She died so you guys wouldn't try to kill each other, but you almost ended up doing it anyway. Thanks to you, her death had no purpose at all. In fact, it was because of her stupid meddling that the rest of you nearly bit the big one. She deserves all the blame. Everyone blame her. Go ahead, she deserves it. Boop, 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 boop. Now then, the next victim has been decided.
What do you mean next victim? Nobody here blames anyone.
Huh?
Well, first of all, you're in the wrong for tricking Hina with that fake suicide note. And plus, Sakura's death wasn't a waste.
はにゃにゃ。
Because she made us remember. We're not enemies that hate each other. We're friends who need to work together.
そうだな。
Damn straight. This is all because of our misplaced hatred. I don't blame her. I can't blame her. And nobody can blame Hina either. Whether or not there was a spy never really mattered, because the one we need to destroy is you. Nobody else.
What the heck? That's not how this is supposed to go.
いらいら。
But anyway, are you sure about that? This killing game is a competition between all of you, remember? Your enemy is each other.
He's absolutely right about that.
Hi, lovely Byakuya. You understand, don't you?
This is a life or death elimination match. The only way to survive is to win. There can be no doubt that those are the rules of the game. Which is why I'm bowing out of the game. Sakura and Hina were both willing to sacrifice their own lives to deny the reality of the game. Thanks to them, it would appear the others have cast aside their fear for this game. There's no point in participating in a game which has lost our sense of excitement. Which is why I will no longer be participating in it.
What's going on here?
Now I have only one thing to look forward to. And that's to heap the harshest possible punishment onto the one who thinks they can control me. Byakuya, does this mean you're tsundere? Don't misunderstand. I haven't been moved by some thoughtless sentimentalism, if that's what you're thinking.
Wherever master goes, I go. If the mastermind turns out to be a guy, maybe I can catch on fire. Everyone.
Well, now can you say that Sakura's death had no meaning?
How boring.
Nothing good can come out of this.
I'm still gonna be the one having the fun time.
The fun time?
Anyway, let's forget about that good-for-nothing backstabber and get back on track. It's the moment you've all been waiting for. Punishment time. Wait, but Sakura was technically the killer, right? And she's dead.
You're not gonna... Is it me?
Oh, heavens no. Just because the Blackhood is dead doesn't mean I can just summon whatever old student I want. Didn't I tell you? I'm very particular about the bare times one rule. But I spent so much time preparing my special punishment, it'd be such a shame to let it go to waste. So, for my special punishment, I've prepared a special guess.
A special guess?
Anishimanto time.
Uh-oh. Well, that's one way to destroy your hard drive. But you know, Chihiro can never catch a break. Well, I mean, technically it's not Chihiro, but you know, Chihiro already died once. And then he came back, sort of, as like a computer program, and then he died again. It was like, oops, oh well. You suck, man. You turned him into a mangled hunk of junk.
Oh, that really took it out of me. Maybe I'll grill up a plate of chicken. After all, they say for post-worked out grub, chicken's where it's at. And I'm all about that grilled goodness. Fried, broiled, give me a break. I love the smell of the succulents. Grilled is where it's at.
Yep, there's a flashback to Alter. Remember Alter Ego? He's like, I'm gonna do my best, just like my master that created me. I'm gonna help you guys, and then dead. Best Boy straight up manages to die twice. Not a lot of people can say that, you know? Die twice, and in Danganronpa. Alter Ego's words raced through my heart and soul, and my disbelief gave way to raw anger. The anger turned to fury, black and muddy and boiling over. It bubbled up through my body, quickly overflowing and shooting out of my mouth. How dare you? That was my friend! My computer friend! How dare you kill him?
どうしたの?
You are friends with a laptop? That's pretty pathetic. What's next? Friends with a basketball?
Shut the hell up! He wasn't just a laptop. He was my... I was gonna say wife. Anyway, he was my friend. And you killed him.
Is this what you call animism? Where soul dwells within all things or something, even like laptops? Well, you can call it whatever you want. Bottom line is, it got in my way. It was trying to find things all sneaky.
やはりね。
So you finally noticed him.
実は
Finally? No. I knew about it from the very beginning. I knew Chihiro was doing something with the laptop, and I knew you were just using it to analyze data. I knew exactly how it was all gonna play out from the start.
What?
どういうことだ?
You knew. And you were so cocky enough to let us take the plunge.
Well, I mean the data on that laptop. It was, I guess you could call it a gift from me to you. Mom, you don't understand. It's got a waifu. It's my 2D waifu, my 2D AI anime girl. You see? Anyway. Well, wasn't there like, I don't know, this is just a rumor I've heard. I don't know for the details or whatever, but wasn't there like, there was something like that, you know, in real life, you know? It was just a hologram of like, maybe like Miku or some kind of anime girl. And it was like a product, you know? Like you would have like a hologram and they would have like, you know, predefined scripts or whatever, like hello, you know, you say hello to like the hologram says hello back or whatever. It's very basic, but you know, it's just like a little hologram thing of like Miku, right? It was like inside a cylinder, I think. But apparently, like the company stopped updating, you know, like the waifu cylinder thing, and then now like people have lost their waifus because they didn't get the update anymore. They're not updating the software anymore or something. I don't know, something like that. I just find that funny, you know. You lose your waifu because you'll never get an update from the company anymore. You know. Anyway. Or maybe more like a reward, in honor of you being able to unlock something so difficult.
あのね
So of course I didn't care if you got access to that. But sneaking into the network was just too personal, so I had to do a little, you know, reformatting.
Yeah. Alter Ego wanted to fight for us. He wanted to help at the risk of his own life. And for that, he was killed.
Yeah, the punishment time has made me feel 1,000,000,000 times better.
いいね
Experiencing a meaningless death is so soothing. Makes me remember that every low can get even lower.
No, his death wasn't meaningless either. Everybody who's died so far, the deaths of each and every one of our friends, they all make us stronger. I swear to God, someday you will pay for this.
ドキドキ
Holy moly, you're Superman. Like, just unreasonably upset. It's just like a bunch of people died, that's all. You know, it's death, murder, it's like whatever.
じゃ
Okay, time to bring things to a close. Oh, but before that,
あそう
I need to read the postscript.
Postscript.
うん
Yeah, there's still a bit more left of Sakura's note.
ぷ
Poor Asahina, by the way, just crying over there in the corner. Do I have your attention? Okay then, here we go.
文字文字
Prepare your ears for the dulcet tones of yours truly.
One other thing, Hina. There's something I'd like to tell, or something I'd like you to tell the others. Hopefully, it would act as a clue to help you unravel the mystery of this school.
What a clue.
朝比奈よ
It's not reading this. I've spoken with the mastermind off and on the whole time I've been here, and so I've learned one thing, which is, the mastermind has done something to us. I think what they've done is...
Whoopsie daisy. That was a close one. I let the word and we'd have been hip deep in spoiler territory. This is a no spoiler stream. You can't spoil it even within the game itself. You see, you can't spoil it. Okay, I don't want to ruin the surprise, so book club is dismissed for today. What? You can't just stop at the most important bit. It makes your brain rumble and tumble, huh? Makes you so mad you don't even friggin' know, huh? That's the whole point, stupid. It's called a mystery game for a reason. It's to get back at all of you for hardening your resolve. Fine, but at least Sakura's note. Like I'd ever let any of you greaseballs have it. But... sucks for you, loser. Wait, what's this? What is it now? Oh, there's one last note, or one last line in the notes. And let me just say this to the mastermind. I'm not going to just lay down and die. I will fight you, you bastard. No matter what. And that's seriously it. Oh, that's funny. It's probably Japanese is written in such a way that, you know, it's a lot different from how Sakura normally talks. Wow, what a stubborn loser, huh? She won't lay down and die. She'll fight you. Whatever. Who cares what some dead musclehead has to say? Yeah. Okay, I'm out of here. You guys should try to get some rest, you know. And maybe take some time to reconsider how you approach this school life of yours. Are you sure you don't want to graduate? And you really cut free from the regrets of the outside world? Think about that. Think long, think hard. Those were his parting words to us before disappearing. But what was that all about? Sakura's final message, her last clue to help us solve the mystery of this school. The mastermind did something to us. Kyokyo said something like that before, didn't she? It was after Celeste's trial was over. What did you do to my body? The mastermind did something to our bodies. What are they saying? What are they saying the mastermind did? What did the mastermind do to us? I don't know. I mean, did the mastermind plan a bomb in us or something? Well, actually, that's the plot for a different game. See? And if we try to leave the school, a sensor goes off, and the bomb explodes. I mean, usually they tell you, you know, in the beginning if that happens. That's the whole point of, you know, having the bomb inside you, so that you don't leave. And Sakura spreading a tiny bit of copium. Yes. Opposite of copium. Opium. I've seen stuff like that in movies and comics and stuff, so it's totally not unheard of. Or not totally unheard of. No, I feel awful just thinking about it. I can't afford to acknowledge thoughts like that.
Ooh.
So the class trial's over and Monokuma's gone. So, now what do we do? For one, you should get a haircut. No, what else is there other than to head back up? Oh yeah, okay, let's get out of here. But, Ina must still feel responsible. Dial back that ego a bit, girl. I mean, same goes for you. The kind of mystery someone like you could pose is absolutely no threat. I would have never lost with that kind of challenge. What are you talking about? Kyokyo and Makoto are the ones that figured everything out. Shut up! Seriously, I'm sorry. How many times do you plan to apologize? How about you make that the last one? I haven't reached the point where I need someone apologizing to me more than once. Okay, I see what you mean. Then, I'll try. That totally wasn't normal, right? Did she just capture his flag? I cannot suffer the existence of someone who would disturb the romance between me and Master. But what are you talking about? That's absolutely not what's happening here. Why would I ever go for a sleazeball like him? Sleazeball. That's right, I called you a sleazeball because you are, sleazeball.
Apparently, you still have a death wish. More biting sarcasm. No wonder you don't have any friends. It's true, he probably doesn't have any friends. Hey, stop fighting with Master. You're making me jealous. I want the abuse give and take. Me. I guess it's not so easy for everyone to act like friends. Well, that's just how it is for now. Good. Amazing. And so Sakura's class trial came to an end, and we returned to the world of Hope's Peak Academy. But the story wasn't even close to over. Time kept marching on. We all went back to our rooms, and before long, the night snuck up on us. Alright, this is probably a little bit more. Let's see. Nighttime, blah 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 blah. Yeah. Nighttime descended and pulled me down along with it down into sleep. I couldn't remember the last time I'd fallen into such a deep sleep, but the night still wasn't over for me. A voice. I could hear a voice. Wake up? Wake up. Huh? The voice dragged me from deep slumber into a hazy half-consciousness. My eyelids were like lead.
そうよ。
キリさん。
だからそうよ。
そっか。キリさんか。
Ah, yes. Makes sense. In a flash, I was wide awake. What are you doing here?
そうね。
I'm here to wake you up. Oh, I see. Wait, but my door... It was unlocked. You're unbelievably careless. It was unlocked? Are you serious?
ね
Always. You don't have to overreact like that every time you're surprised. What time is it?
え。そう。
3 o'clock. In the morning, of course. It's 3 a.m.? Why was Kokyo waking me up at this hour? Obviously, she wants to play some video games, you know? You can just play some late-night video games together. Play some Mario Kart. So, it's so late, what happened?
苗木くん。
I have a favor I need to ask. Well, what's your favor? Because I'm not gonna lend you any money.
それは。
Anytime I lend money to anyone, they never give it back. No, remember what Sakura said at the end of her note. I'm not going to just lay down and die, I will fight you. I want to find out what she meant by that. Okay, but how do you plan to do that? And Kyokyo put her lips next to my ear and whispered. As a favor at 3 a.m. It can only mean one thing. It's this. The data center on the 4th floor. What?
じゃあね。
I'll meet you there. Without another word, she was gone. What the? The words reverberated through my half-dazed head. The data center? But I thought it was locked. Okay, well, sure. Let's go. Let's do that. Let's go do that right now. We're not done with chapter 4. I mean, it seems like, just like chapter 3, you know, there's always a little bit, little extra thing you gotta do before the chapter officially ends. I made my way to the after-hours school and headed for the data center on the 4th floor. Technically breaking the rules, you know, but that was like Celeste's rule, I guess, of like not going out at night. Eventually, I wound up at the data center, but when I arrived, Kyokyo's not here. That's weird. She said she'd meet me. Is she maybe inside already? I put my hand to the door, and with a certain amount of force... it didn't open. I tried again, but... it must be locked. What was it Kyokyo said? The data center on the 4th floor? Oh! What are you doing up, mister? Nah! Breaking into a locked room is incredibly prohibited, don't you know? Well, I just... You're trying to tell me you didn't actually bust in yet, right? But... I can see that, you don't. Don't waste my time telling me crap I can see for myself. And
look like you might break in any second, so I just thought I'd give you a friendly reminder. Are you gonna try and tell me you were sleepwalking or something? No, nothing like that. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, for crying out loud. Even I get tired, you know. Stop being weird and get back to bed. Monokuma needs to go to sleep, you know? What's wrong now?
ちょっと
Says somebody. Oh, Kyoko. What's wrong now? Why are you out here making a racket? Kyoko!
お前もか
Omae moka!
お前ら
Whatever! The two of you just get back to bed. I'm positively exhausted from the class trial.
そうね
Sure, you got it. Come on, Makoto, let's head back. What?
ね
Didn't you hear me? We're leaving. I have no idea what's going on anymore. This is like the same as last time, you know? It just tells you to go somewhere and then you get ghosted. And then she comes back, like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, let's just go. Okay. Yeah, go on, get out of here, shoo. So we left and went back to our rooms. And then...
じゃあね
So, goodbye. Hold on! Listen, what was that all that about just now? She woke me up, made me go to the data center, which just so happened to be locked, and then she just shows up late and we leave without checking a single thing. Well, you see, Makoto, you got pranked. It was all a prank. It was just a social experiment. As it turns out, she's the ultimate prankster now. What was the point of all that? Don't worry about it. I figured that it would be the end of our conversation, just like always, but...
じゃあね
Well then, good night. Sure. And then that was over. But as I turned to leave...
戦場むくろ
Kyoko was right next to me once again, whispering into my ear.
戦場むくろこの学園に潜む16人目の高校生超高校級の絶望と呼ばれる女子高校生戦場むくろに気をつけて
Ah yes. That's a meme, by the way. I think that's a meme, like, I already forgot the copy paste stuff. People always paste that. You know, it's like, Mikuru Ikusaba, the 16th student, the ultimate despair. Watch out for her. It's like a Danganronpa meme for some reason. It's like big spoilers though, you know? It's not a very good meme if it just spoils like when you're like halfway through the game. Anyway, but apparently there's somebody called Mikuru Ikusaba. But we got an Ultra Lump. Oh yeah, that isn't that like Alter Ego turned into like a metal ball. But there you go. That's the end of chapter 4 with a little mystery at the end of a missing student maybe. Anyway, gotta save the game. And there you go. Give it here. All right.
戦場むくろ
Ikisaba Mukuro. All right, but I guess I'll just leave it here, and then we'll do the next chapter next time. I guess. Let me just head back to, I guess maybe the menu, I guess, like so. I do want to mention something though. Can I see my? I can actually. Like I want to see my. Can I look at the options? No, that's just options. Yeah, Mikuru Ikusaba, the 16th student, lying hidden somewhere in the school. The one they call the ultimate despair. Watch out for her. Okay, fine. I'll just go back. Look, I always do this thing where, well, not always, but I just want to mention real quick about Sakura, right? So she's freaking dead. No, I always found it kind of weird though. I don't know what kind of moral, by the way, the game was trying to say, you know, at the end there, about how, like, she sacrificed it, but that's the whole point, right? She committed suicide, you know, everyone thought, or at least, or rather, Asahino thought, you know, she just committed suicide just because, you know, out of despair, and that's why she messed with the investigation and everything. But as it turns out, no, she did, in order to, I guess, fulfill her end of the deal without hurting anyone else, you know, and therefore, I guess, unite everybody. It's kind of a weird moral, though, because, look,
For one, I don't think Monokuma cares, you know, because apparently he's holding her dojo, her family dojo hostage or whatever. If you kill yourself, that doesn't matter, you know. This is why you don't negotiate with terrorists, because no matter what, you know, it's like Monokuma's probably gonna kill the dojo anyway. They're gonna destroy the dojo anyway. So like, it actually doesn't make any sense. Kill yourself. I feel like anyway. That's my opinion. Also, it just gives, I don't know, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. It really is, I don't know, maybe it's like a Japanese thing. Like, I mean, obviously, very, very traditional, you know, Japanese culture. Not, you know, not something that I don't think everybody believes in Japan, but definitely, I mean, it dates back to samurai, right? About like seppuku and all that, you know, have like an honorable death and whatnot and everything. I think it's like they're trying to like invoke that kind of idea. I just find it weird, you know, it's like, it doesn't really solve anything, to be honest, you know. I don't know. But the game is like, oh, and then everyone's united because she killed herself, because she sacrificed herself, I guess. Anyway, that's how I felt. Like, I was just like, yeah, interesting investigation. You know, how did she die? Whatever. The locker room mystery. Obviously, the big twist. Nobody killed her. It was just herself. 99 kilograms of her bill period life? I don't know. I can't tell. 99 kilograms, 218 pounds, 6 feet. I don't know. I wouldn't know what the normal weight would be for 6 feet 4 inches. That reminds me, actually. Let's see here. Can I like find her picture? Because you know, Sakura had many in her beta version. Definitely looked a lot different. At the very end, you know, she has this like really like brute-looking experience, or not experience, brute-looking appearance rather. He just looks like a really just big muscular bodybuilder in like a high school uniform. But you know, she looks a lot different in her original form actually. I don't know if you ever learned it actually. I guess you have to learn like free time, whatever, in order to learn her like backstory and everything. But she didn't always look like that actually, as it turns out. It's only after she, I guess, powered up that she looked like that. I'm trying to see if there's any like, is it available? Is there like a picture of like the old self? I wonder. I just want to show this one. I just found it interesting, you know. Actually, she looks a lot different before she turned all muscle. In particular, I guess, like the second form over there, you know, right before it got all muscly. I think the backstory is that, I believe, I don't know if it's spoilers or not, but like I believe she got the power from like a boyfriend. She had like a boyfriend, I think, or something, or not. Well, I don't know if she was boyfriend, but like, or at least not yet anyway. But you know, the boyfriend was like dying of a disease or something, and they were like both martial artists or whatever, and he gave that power to her, and therefore she powered up like a Super Saiyan, literally got super muscles because of that. I don't know. But her original form, she just looked like a normal anime girl, you know. I just found it interesting that they could have stuck with like the original form, or like original form of just like being a normal anime girl. But I guess, I don't know, I guess it would lose that shock value, you know. Danganronpa always does this thing where they try to make maybe not all the characters, but some of the characters anyway, kind of wacky, to be honest. You know, they kind of exaggerate a lot of features. You know, for Sakura in particular, the big muscles and all that, right? And also, I guess she would be less intimidating. I mean, part of the case that involved her, you know, kind of was all about her like being intimidating and all that. Anyway, that's all I wanted to show. It's just her, and you know, not muscle. She's not as intimidating actually. She's just a nice girl, you know. If you look past her like big bulky exterior, she's just a normal girl. Anyway, too bad she's dead, as a lot of characters in Danganronpa. Oh well. Anyway, we'll see. So enough rambling, by the way. So we'll see next time who's gonna die next in chapter 5. You know, I guess we'll see next time.